It's not complicated. Can men give birth?
Sometimes. That's my answer. Yes.
And the answer that is crazy. And this is we cannot. It's just crazy. We cannot allow this to happen.
But you wouldn't say the definition of being a woman is the ability to give birth.
I'm not saying it, but only women can give birth is a factually true statement.
For the victory lap though. Whoa, they ain't never seen nothing like this before. Lit the room when I came through the front door. Ask me if I stress overcome, what for? Train in the trees, please pardon my sycamore. Touch burning sands, cross lands and stormy shore seasons in the year, yeah. Ain't no challenge for champions and chain no fear. Yup, the champ is here, switch gears. We keeping haters in the rear.
All right, what's going on, y'all? It's Common Sense back again for another reaction video. It's your boy, Sharpie90, Enemy Swag Fitness, Bigger Guy Fashion, Limited on YouTube, and Common Sense. Cool.
Y'all see Julius Workout. Check me out on YouTube and Instagram. Don't forget, comment, like, share, and subscribe. If you have any videos you want us to react to, put them down in the comment section.
All right, so we getting straight into it with your girl Candace Owens.
Y'all know how I feel about Candace.
Actually, I don't really. How do you feel about you? Look, we talk too much, but we're gonna talk about that afterwards, right? So
yeah, I like Candace. I think.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember.
I don't agree with everything she says. But I don't agree with her about that George Floyd shit. But I like her though.
Yeah, but I don't have any serious issues with her, honestly. But yeah. So we're gonna get straight into this reaction. And sorry, when we change the reaction video, it's about Candace Owens and Lamont Hill talking about apparently men can give birth.
Stop the cap.
All right, here we go.
Oh shit, this is about to be funny.
It's funny, you know it is though.
Depends.
My boy
Lamont. What does it depend on?
I know trans.
When you are a male, you are born with a penis. You can get a woman pregnant. These words have real meanings. We cannot suddenly get into society where there are no truths.
So to acknowledge a social construct does not mean that we ignore biology, and it doesn't mean that we don't have.
Can men get pregnant?
Depends. I know.
What does it depend on?
I know trans men that can get pregnant.
That means it's a woman. Only one sex can get pregnant.
That's a circular argument. That's
not a circular argument. Yeah. It's proving my thing. There is a truth, a concrete truth. You have to be born with a uterus to have a baby. Only women can get pregnant. The fact that we've arrived in a society,
right? That's the part I'm disagreeing with. That's the part I'm disagreeing with.
There's nothing to disagree with it. These are facts. So you can say that this person who is pregnant identifies as a man. That person was born a woman. I can tell you that every single time because only women can have sex because there are concrete truths about life.
Have babies.
Can have babies, pardon. And that is a hard truth about life. You cannot make that go away because you want to call a man, somebody who has a beard and dresses like a dude a woman. Only if it's pregnant, I can tell you exactly what it is. It's a woman.
So I'll give you, let's go back to the social construct thing because then it'll answer the thing you just said. I'm not ignoring what you just said. I want to tie it together. So the idea of, my point was that a social construct doesn't ignore physical realities, right? The social construct is about how we as a society make sense of those physical realities, right? So for example, you said we're black. Sure, right? I'm trying to think of, you pick a light-skinned black person, right? They're black, right? We'd agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's go to the Dominican Republic.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the PR. Let's go to Puerto Rico. Let's go to Jordan. Let's go to Iraq. Let's go to Sudan. Let's go to Ghana, right? And let's go to South Africa. I'm picking these places very specifically because they have different racial logics and racial paradigms. And what it means to be black here, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a universal blackness, right? That in Dominican, there might be 5 different other racial categories, right? And there are some light-skinned black folk here who, when they go to Ghana, get basically seen as white, right? Because of how we socially construct it. Doesn't mean my biology changed. Doesn't mean my physical reality changed, but how society engages this stuff is what makes it a social construct. So similarly,
I know what he's saying.
I'm not ignoring the realities of race. So with race and racism in America, and then I'm going to take it back to the gender thing. When it comes to race and racism in America, it's, yes, biologically we're all the same, right? Black people, white people, there's an infinitesimal difference between a black person and a white person in terms of our genetics, right? This is superficial stuff. But that's a biological reality, right? It's a biological fact, right? Just like as biologically true as me being born with a penis, right? But the truth is, but the idea that there's social meanings attached to that blackness that make people fear me, or that make people think that that person's life is worth more because they're white or whatever. Those are social meanings that are arbitrary and different. So to acknowledge social constructs doesn't mean you ignore biological realities.
But you just did that when you said that men could give birth.
So similarly, what I'm saying is that I'm not denying the biological reality of maleness, of the genitalia where it's signed at birth and what we can do with those body parts. I'm not denying that. That's a biological reality. Again, the social meaning I'm attaching to it is what I'm saying is more complicated.
But it's not complicated. Can men give birth?
Sometimes. That's my answer. Yes.
And the answer that is crazy. And this is we cannot. It's just crazy. We cannot allow this to happen.
But you wouldn't say the definition of being a woman is the ability to give birth.
And I'm not saying it, but only women can give birth is a factually true statement. Only women can give birth. There's only one type of human being.
Only people with uteruses and vaginas.
Yes,
and
can give birth. Only women can give birth. I'm not disagreeing with that. Birth.
I'm not. And here's what I think we're talking past each other. What I'm saying is, I'm not disputing the fact that certain body parts yield certain kinds of possibilities. Right. What I'm disagreeing with is the idea that that is the measure of whether or not you're a man or a woman in society.
Okay, but it is now come to a point where if you say that only women can give birth, you are called a bigot. That is crazy.
I just want to pause this real quick, and I'm just really going to say this right now. Okay, so, and this is kind of going into like I think Matt Walsh's whole what is a woman thing, what is a woman thing, right? So I think that maybe what would help this situation then, right? Because while he was completely reaching, right, and what he said was true, make no mistake about that. But it had absolutely no bearing on what she was saying. He knows exactly what she is saying, though.
Yes.
That's my point, right? You know what I'm saying? So if she was to change the word from woman to female, right? Okay, because if we're being honest, like when we're talking about gender specific, right? Like you are a male or you're a female, a woman or a man, right? I get what he's talking about from a societal norm, right? About when a woman is a woman or a man is a man. Cool. Fuck all that bullshit. Nigga, you know what the fuck she is saying. She is saying, right, can a male give birth? Right? Can a male, okay? This is the symbol, right? In almost every single country around the world, male, okay? Male, you see it all the time. You see it. Am I wrong though? You see the military.
No. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It's not
female. Womb, uterus.
Oh my God,
right?
Funny,
can a male give birth? It's very simple, right? And you see what I'm saying? She's not even arguing about like the social, norms, constructs, anything like that. She's like, nigga, cool, whatever, fuck. Can a male give birth? Yes or no? It's a yes or no fucking question. And if you can't answer that fucking question, if you refuse to answer that question, then to me that just tells me that you're too much of a bitch to just straight up just say the truth. And that's part of the problem that we're having right now. It's like, oh, this is my truth. This is my truth. No, there is the truth. Okay? There's the truth, right? There's one truth, and that's it. Even if you don't know, even if we don't know, they say there's three sides to every story. It's your side, their side, and then what really happened. The reason why they say that is because that it's your point of view from what happened, it's their point of view from what happened, and then when you put those two pieces together, you get what actually happened. It doesn't change the fact that there's still one real truth. I don't know where the fuck we're like making this shit up for. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, but that shit is mad crazy to me, yo.
That's nuts. So if you say, like J.K. Rowling did when she got canceled by the Harry Potter cast, that only women can menstruate, okay? Can men get their period? Can you help my audience? Can men get their period?
Some can.
Okay.
Yeah, trans men. There's some trans men who can.
You know what the fuck she's asking.
And again, I think it's okay to ask interesting questions. I think it's okay to have intellectual debates. But I don't think that we ever want to enter a space where we deny the humanity. And I'm not saying you are, but to deny the humanity or the experiences of other people.
Like I said, I was totally okay with trans until it became a demand. What you are denying is my ability to be an intelligent human being, right? You're denying my ability to talk about science and biology in a meaningful way. You are now making your existence is actually infringing on mine. Okay.
How so?
And because when you make it a requirement now that I have to pretend that men can give birth and men can menstruate and there needs to be tampons as the ACLU is fighting for and male restrooms, and if I don't see the reason, the importance of that, then I'm a bigot. I'm someone that says, no. I accept you if you want to run around and you want to wear a dress and you want to call yourself Tiffany and you want to put
But you won't
pillow
call me
in
Tiffany.
if you want, I don't need to know your name. What does it mean? It doesn't mean anything to me. If you want to call, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't believe your name is Tiffany. You know, if a person comes up to me and they're in a dress and a skirt and they say my name's Tiffany. Okay, cool, Tiffany, cool.
Yeah.
Right. But when it becomes Candace is a bigot because she won't acknowledge that, you know, Tiffany the man got her period and can have a baby. I'm not playing that game. I will
So
never
tomorrow,
back
I'll come
down.
on your show tomorrow, and I have decided that, or a year from now, suddenly I have reimagined my identity, and I have recognized and affirmed my identity as a trans woman, and I no longer want to identify as Marc. I want to identify, as use your example, as Tiffany.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't be like, this book says Marc, you're Marc. You'd call me Tiffany.
I'd call you Tiffany, but I'm not going to call you she and her because that has real meaning, and I'm not going to play the
What's
game.
compromised by that is what I'm trying to understand.
My reality. You're now saying.
Okay, so this is where I get so fucking frustrated, right? Is that because, and this is where it's like so frustrating for me because it's like, hey, and I 100% agree with Candace. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not gonna go out of my way to be rude to somebody, right? Because to be honest with you, I don't give a fuck about you one way or the other, bro. And that's not even me trying to be mean. Like, first of all, if you're living that type of life, the chances of us like really like operating in the same circles are slim to none. And that's not even me trying to be mean. Like, you really wouldn't want to vibe with me because of what my beliefs are, anyways, right? So I'm going to be dealing with you in a very limited capacity in the first fucking place. Let's keep it a buck, right? But if you come up to me and you say, and you 6'3", right? You know what I'm saying? You got a beard, you buff, and you know what I'm saying? And then you got a dress on. You got a wig on, you got makeup on, and like she said before, you like, hey, my name is, you know, Shanika. Cool, what's up, Shanika? What you need? All right, cool, yeah, yes, in the back, man. Yeah, got you. All right, cool. Have a good day. That's all the fuck it is, right? But that's the part where I draw the line. That's what Dave Chappelle exactly said. He said, like, how far do I have to participate in your delusion, right? Like, because here's a reality situation. If I'm walking around here, right? If I'm walking around here and I'm saying like, okay, well, I'm 6'3", for example, right? I'm clearly not 6'3", I'm 5'10", right? But saying if I'm 60, right? And then, you know what I'm saying? And even other people, even when I tell them that I'm 60, they don't even say anything. They don't say, oh, no, you're not 60, right? They don't say anything. They just leave it alone, right? And then I'm trying to make them say like, yeah, I'm 6'3", right? No, you have to say that I'm 6'3", right? No, you have to tell me that I'm 6'3", right? That's what I identify as that I'm 6'3". Who's more unreasonable? The person who wants everybody else to completely agree with that person's point of view of themselves, perception of themselves, or, right, everybody else in the whole fucking world who has believed in reason and logic since the dawn of time. Because it's like you got what you wanted. Nobody's going out of your way. Nobody's giving you a hard time, right? Nobody's going to give a game. You got what you wanted, right? You want to be called Tiffany, you want to be called Tiffany. You identify as a woman, cool, whatever, right? I'm not finna change my knowledge of the English language. And I agree. That's where you got me fucked up. Like, that's where I draw the line. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's she, he, right? Those things mean something, okay? If you look at Latin languages, there's a feminine, there's a masculine, okay? They even, Italian is the same way. Like, they use that to communicate a certain way with women and with men since the dawn of fucking time. So now you want to completely rewrite history? Who the fuck are you?
And you transform your reality, and now I have to pretend that words have no meanings, and they do have meanings, right? So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to call you, hi, Tiff. How you doing, Tiff? Did you have a good day, Tiff? Great, Tiff. I'm not going to then say she. I'm not doing that. And if people cannot, if people the demand,
but you won't misgender me either.
What? I'll just call you Tiffany.
And if they say where'd Tiffany go, you're not gonna be like he just left. You'll say she just left.
I'll probably slip up once or twice.
I'm not talking about mistakes, but I'm saying you wouldn't intentionally misgender me.
No, I wouldn't intentionally misgender you, but I don't want Tiffany in my bathroom. I don't want Tiffany
but
in my spaces.
But you also don't want tampons in the other bathroom. That's what I don't get.
No, I don't care. I think it's stupid. I think it's foolish. I think it's dumb. But if that's really where guys want to go, do it. I don't care. It's not my business. It doesn't impact me. I don't have to go in the bathroom. But I don't want Tiffany in my bathroom.
And are you okay with gender neutral bathrooms?
That's how most bathrooms are. That's all. Go on the plane. They're all gender neutral.
No, I got you. But I'm saying,
bathroom, fine.
I'm
Cool.
saying designating a specific one like in public spaces, like restaurants.
Yeah, I hate that they say gender neutral because usually they just say bathroom.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to say gender neutral. It just says bathroom. And we all understood that. That just seems to be an extra step of virtue signaling.
And actually, I'm just saying this because of my meaning of the English language. That would actually be redundant. It's actually redundant to say that. To say this bathroom is gender neutral. If you're not assigning it a
gender, then it means it's neutral.
Then it means that it's already neutral. So it's actually redundant. So now you're an idiot on two different fronts. So
To say gender neutral, you just put bathroom. Everyone knows what that means.
No, but a lot of times in places like, for example, in our university, we have male bathrooms, we have female bathrooms, and then we have gender neutral bathrooms.
You could just put bathroom. Everyone knows what it means. You put WC, everyone knows what it means. It means anybody can go here. That's always been that way since the beginning of time. And then suddenly the trans lobby wanted to say gender neutral, and suddenly we had to put gender neutral.
That's so fascinating because I find it actually be the right in this case. And I'm not
planes. Do they say gender neutral?
I'm with you.
Bathroom.
I'm with you. I mean, grandmom's house.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, right? I mean, no one called it gender. I'm with you.
Yeah.
But I often find that it's the anti-trans community that's like, oh my God, a gender neutral bathroom.
Because it's the
God made bathroom for man, bathroom for woman.
No,
I'm like, what are you talking about?
No, they've always been just bathrooms. Usually at small places, just bathrooms. It's fine, but like I can't stand the preamble to the Constitution. Any person can go here. We don't care whether you. Shut up.
I think that's a good thing. I think
it's just annoying. It's just the constant virtue signaling. Shut up.
It's about affirming people's identity.
You don't need your identity affirmed on a bathroom sign. If you need that,
if you've been denied access.
It just says bathroom.
That's privilege.
It's not privilege.
That's cisgender privilege. It really is.
Oh my God! Stop with these made-up terms. Cisgender privilege. It's just a bathroom.
All words are made up.
I mean, it's just a bathroom.
Necessary word.
It's like
what I'm saying is, if you've been constantly denied access to something, affirming that you can come here matters because there's a long history of trans people.
Just right bathroom.
Right, and I'm saying, just right bathroom historically has still excluded people who are visibly.
Yo, I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I'm good.
Well, I want to get my thoughts on this, right? So
we good on this video because we good.
Yeah. I just want to get my thoughts.
It's a long podcast, and I felt like we kind of got. I feel like we understand.
Yeah. So I work in an industry where it's very I'm just gonna be blunt, right? I work in an industry that's very open, right?
Yeah.
People from all different walks of life. And when I listen to them, to Lamont and Candace, two people who I find to be very intelligent, what's sad and scary to me is that the real gender war is that.
Yeah.
It's not cis men and cis women. It's people transitioning and then coming back and fighting from behind you.
Yeah.
Because it's like, so I was watching, I don't know if you've seen it yet, the Vice panel with Curly Things and Sydney and some other people on there. And it's crazy to watch transgender women, in my opinion, strip what it means to be a woman from an actual woman.
Yeah.
And I feel like the women are in a position, like, so you have your conservative, you have your liberals, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the liberal women are like, they want to get everything they can get, that they're almost willing to let that shit, well, not almost, they're willing to let the transgender women, the trans women, I'd almost say kind of control the narrative and kind of trying to control what's being, like, what's important to their demise, and where it's almost like to me it's hurting the feminist movement because now you're just mixing so much shit going on. You got like feminist things, you got trans women things, and those things compete. And when I listen to this stuff, it's just like, I mean, you got that shit. They over here fucking complaining about. They were talking about damn bathrooms. Which my problem with the bathroom thing is, look. If you want to call me, I'll call you Tiffany. What I do is, when I'm in situations like that, I just use their fucking names. And I make sure I don't slip up and use genders. Name.
Yep.
My issue with the bathroom is the same thing with jail and anything else, man. If someone gets sexually harassed up in there, now we got a whole different issue. That's my, like, I don't try to be like telling people and shit their business, but to me, we overcomplicating shit, and it's scary. It's just fucking scary because I'm like, because I've been in situations where I've seen like the 3 bathroom options, and I'm like, like it's just like but to Candace's point, why don't we just do just 1 bathroom?
Yeah, and so it's like that whole.
I don't know.
So I think the problem with him is that he is the worst type of person, in my opinion, because he actually is intelligent, and he's choosing to use his intelligence to support a narrative that defies all logic and reason, right?
Yeah.
And especially because I did catch a part of the earlier part of like the podcast, right? Where even when he was trying to make the an earlier argument, right? Because he's Black Lives Matter, right? Black person supporter, right? Everything like that, right? You know what I mean? Even he tried to make the argument about that. He was like, yeah, because like people have been, like I say, it's just like Black people, you know what I mean? At one point they were, like they were just like, coloreds and then whites, bathroom, and you know what I mean? And I was like, exactly. And then they got rid of that, and it was just a bathroom. See my point, right? And so I think the issue with the other side of this argument, right? You feel how you want to feel. I can think it's stupid all I want to, right? That's my right. That's my. Even my wife, we were talking about it, and she was like, "Well, what if your son came out as non-binary, whatever?" I would tell him exactly how the fuck I felt about it. I'd be like, "Look, be honest with you, man. I think you young, you just going with the flow, you a little lost, whatever, right? And this is how I feel about the situation, and I'm allowed to do that, right? That don't mean I'm not going to love you." That don't mean I'm not, and that's the problem, right? Is that I can not agree with something, right? I cannot like somebody's job, right? I cannot like somebody's point of view, right? And I can, to an extent, right? And I can still, right, love and support and care about you. If people don't seem to understand that, okay, people think that, okay, well, no, if you really love it, you're gonna agree with what? No, the fuck I don't. Okay, me and you don't even agree on everything. You know what I mean? We've been friends for 15 years. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck cares? And I think that's my issue with the other side. They don't get it. It's like you're looking for the external validation and people to, affirm your identity. And that's why you're never going to be fucking happy. Okay. Because if you don't like you and if you don't believe what you're saying right about yourself, then why the fuck should anybody else? Because we can tell. I can smell that shit a mile away. I'm like, you are insecure. You are lost, right? You know what I mean? Like, and you're just using all of this bullshit to try to make yourself feel better about the fact that you're lost and you're lazy. Instead of dealing with the problems that are in your life, it's hard. Like, life is hard. It's a fight, bro. It's a fight to be here every single day. And I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm not saying that you're weak or whatever. For if you choose not to, or you didn't make it, whatever, right? But for this conversation to be having, for this conversation to have to be had whatsoever, shows how lost this generation behind us is coming up, and they're using a lot of these terms, even like this whole cis, right? And it's funny, and I really want to try this out, like in public, if during like one of these events or something like that, and someone's like, oh yeah, because you're I'm like, oh yeah, I'm straight here. I'm like, oh, so you're a cis man? I said, no, I don't identify as a cis man. Well, no, that's what you are. I said, oh, are you mislabeling right now? Whoa! Are you mislabeling? And I'm gonna keep the same fucking energy too. Don't fucking call me that. You don't get to even that. Doesn't even make any fucking sense. That word makes no fucking sense whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, no, absolutely not. Don't call me that shit, man. I'm a man, right? And I'm straight. Those are that's an adjective that I'm gonna use to describe me, not cis.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed that is concerning to me is that the amount of resources that are being, in my opinion, misused to basically fund the delusion.
Yeah,
and it's only going to get worse. And it's like, so like if you think about this, right? Like imagine you're like just having to set up not just additional bathrooms, but additional like services and like resource groups and in the trainings, right? So like, when you're at work, like now, like I'm sure you had, at the military and stuff, or I don't know if y'all took it, but you had like, you had trainings on these things. Those things are costly and it's a big business. And Lamont's in a situation where I feel for Lamont. Lamont I know, don't believe nothing that came out of his fucking mouth.
And no way in the world.
But because I'm sure he is tied to the DNC, just like Roland Martin, he has got to basically, in my opinion, make the case that the rights that the trans community are fighting for are the exact same the rights that Black people were fighting for in this country, 50, 60 years ago. And we all know that those are not the same thing
at all.
But you basically can't say that now because and that's one thing about the civil rights movement, which people keep in mind. Black civil rights does not mean black.
No,
but that's how it's being interpreted. Is that was like the blueprint for like getting shit done in this country, and every community is using it as a fucking blueprint, and it's just sad, man. I don't know. Like here's the thing. Like I don't have a problem with people who identify. I don't have a problem. Like I like them, and it's definitely a point of like contention where, like right now we're at this crossroads where it's like, where I know that like things that I'm doing aren't good, so like I don't necessarily like address it. I just try to hang in the silence, keep my fucking mouth shut.
Yeah,
I know there's gonna come a point in a time where, like, let's say, I hate to say this, but let's say, you have someone who's a trans woman, trans man, who's like, I don't want to use the word indoctrinating your child, but giving their viewpoints to kids, to your child.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily, I don't want that.
Nope.
That's not fair to me. You know what I'm saying? So, and I know I hear people nowadays saying about, like in schools they're teaching, critical race theory. I don't really know what that means, that and all this other stuff. And it's like, I didn't sign up for that.
Nope.
And that's what concerns me is that like, you're like, I feel like we're losing we're losing the ability to teach what we want to teach our kids.
Yeah.
And I got a problem with that. That's where I got an issue with. Really.
And that's why like certain states are starting to switch over more to like more conservative views, even if they don't agree with all of them, but the core, the foundation of them, they kind of agree with. Virginia for the first time in almost like 20 years flipped red.
Let me tell you something. Before I heard some real shit the other day on a comment. Oh no, it was a YouTube video. This girl said, people like me are being labeled conservative, and she was like, a lot of these people, they just want to go back to 2010.
Right.
And when she said that, I was like, that's some real shit.
I really fucking understand.
I know what she meant by that. I'm not saying I want to go gun ho. Like, you just want shit to just make sense. That's all you're asking for. You want to go back to like.
Can I just go back to 2000 motherfucking 10 when shit makes sense? Because this shit don't make sense right now, bro.
And millennials, like people like me, we know what that means. Like,
yes.
We know what 2000, we know what that means.
Yes. But these generations, like whatever the fuck they are, why or whatever the fuck they are, these niggas is, I'm like, bro, y'all got like fucked up, man. For real.
Yeah, like when I talk to my niece about some of the things she does in school, and I'm just like, it's just like, I don't even know how to respond.
This shit just don't, and it's like in theory, I get it, like that's great, but it doesn't work in reality. That's the issue that they don't understand, why we're never going to sign off on it. Especially when you get to a certain age. It's so, and I said this before too, and this is 100% applies to this situation. I have been in the gym, and it was so funny. There was this dude who could have been more than like 160 pounds, right? And he, saw me, and he saw me dumbbell pressing. I'm dumbbell pressing pretty heavy, right? I always stop like a certain amount of like maybe just shy of like here, right? Before I don't go all the way down to like my chest, right? Because when I do that is to save my shoulders, right? Because you guys are
very painful.
Yeah, you're hyperextending your rotator cuff, right? It's just like a fact, right? He's like, oh man, you gotta go all the way down, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? Whatever. And he looked good. He looked good, right? You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, you look good, right? You know what I'm saying? He was like 21, 22 years old, right? This happened like maybe like a year ago. And I just remember like, I was like, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. And I didn't say a fucking word to him, right? And then he came again. This is true. He came again, he saw me, and I was like, dude, I mean, I'm telling you right now, really want blah, blah, blah. I said, look at little boy. I said, first of all, you don't fucking know me. I said, okay, Like I said, and secondly, I'm not gonna listen to anything you fucking say because you're 21 and you have good genetics. I said, I think that's great. Maybe you play sports your whole life or whatever, right? I said, but you don't know the fuck you're talking about. I said, the problem with y'all is that you think that you know everything just because you're 21 and you look good right now. I'm never gonna listen to you. I'm gonna listen to the guy who's 50, 60 years old who still looks good, and I can tell it's not on steroids, okay? Because that way I know that it's time tested and it is proven to work over a long period of time. That's the same thing when it comes to this experiment, because it's like what the fuck I'm calling it. This experiment with this non-binary, whatever fuck, bullshit. Not homosexuality. Homosexuality's been around for thousands of years, right? It has been. But all of this like gender, whatever, it's an experiment. And I'm not going to sign off on this experiment because of the fact that it's new.
Yeah, and I would say, man, like, anyone watching this video, like, if you feel like you disagree with us, I'm more than happy to have a discussion. Because what I don't want to see is we just like we don't communicate, we don't talk to each other and try to figure out like what's going on. Like, can we like? Because, for example, right, I don't want to get into a situation where we're having conversations like Candace and Lamont. Like, it was clear that Lamont knew what he was talking about. I want to talk to somebody who genuinely believes what they are saying and find out why. Like, and I'm here to like listen. And hell, if you want to like, take me out, we go somewhere, I try to understand where you're coming from. Because again, I don't live that life, right? But I'm willing to try to understand because. Again, like this is the way we're going in life. I want to be like I don't want to be on the sidelines of like I don't want to be sitting there letting my life just being dictated by other people and not having to sit not having to see the table.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to agree, be able to respectfully disagree with you, and figure out where can we meet, what can we discuss, how can we make changes? Because I'm not okay with just seeing like. People in government making these decisions. I'm like, motherfucker, I didn't sign up for that shit.
None of it.
You know what I mean? Just be making changes at work and at this and at that. And you're like, yo, like, I'm not cool with that. Like the sports shit. Or even like, you got the sports problem. And not to mention you got the problem with, hey, man, like this consent shit. Like, usually them are consenting to sex. Now you got to start consenting to what were you born as?
Yeah, exactly.
These are real serious issues that like need to be addressed like fast, like in a hurry. So
yeah, but hey, this is a dope video. All right, like I said, we're gonna keep them cranking out twice a week. It looks like right about now it's gonna be about twice a week. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let us know if any other videos you want to react to, any topics we want us to talk about as well. And you got any last things real quick before we take off?
No, man. That was a good discussion. Like I said, if you disagree or you just want to have a conversation, please hit us up. I'll let
hit us up in the comments. Yeah, you understand? But yeah, this is Common Sense, and we are out. Peace.
Peace.